9 hidden truths about human nature that the wise keep to themselves. Secretly shared with you, especially points 3 and 7, those with fragile hearts may not want to read on. If you can understand these, you might save yourself a decade of detours. 1. Human nature doesn't have an absolute good or bad. Everyone around you is essentially performing for you. When you can bring them benefits, their nature appears kind. When you can't, it turns selfish and indifferent. When you take away their benefits, their nature becomes malicious. All relationships are fundamentally maintained by interests. 2. If you're not drunk, it's because you haven't had enough. If you're respected for your virtue, it's because you can't be overpowered. If you're not tempted by beauty, it's because you're out of reach. If you're indifferent to fame and fortune, it's because you have no other options. Only after possessing something can you talk about letting go. Only after experiencing can you claim to see through it. Don't put yourself on a pedestal, alternating between life is a dream and all is void philosophies. Be more down to earth and earn more money. Practicality is stronger than anything else. Before you've fulfilled your duty to provide financial freedom for your children and parents, don't indulge in useless pursuits. 3. We are educated to be overly kind, without self-protection or aggression, forgetting whether we are the prey or the hunter. When we forget we are hunters, we become easy prey. The world is cruel and realistic, filled with unscrupulous people. Do we choose to bow our heads or fight back? It's a thought-provoking question. There are 2 quick ways to turn your life around: learning and being deceived. If you don't learn, you'll be deceived. There are 2 ways to improve your cognition: education and experience. Without education, you'll be taught a lesson. 4. Why do some people envy you? It's because you're just a little bit better than them, within their reach, and they try to bring you down. If one day you're significantly better than them, they'll start to admire you, take pride in knowing you, and treat you as a godlike friend, careful with every word and action for fear of offending you. 5. Don't count on your fair-weather friends to stand by you in crucial moments. Don't take their brotherly embraces and toasts at face value. In the face of interests, they might not just fail to support you, but even stab you in the back. Taking words spoken at the dinner table seriously would be naive. 6. Don't assume that everything the elderly or older people say is correct. Some people are poor for a reason, and those who remain poor into old age have their reasons too. Not all elderly people deserve sympathy or trust. Don't let their so-called good intentions confine your thinking. Scoundrels come in all genders, and worthlessness knows no age. Times and environments change. Outdated food won't nourish you. It might poison you. The greatest tragedy of humanity is often using age as a measure of intelligence, which is utterly foolish. 7. It's human nature to yield to kindness and resist force. People will die for wealth, just as birds will die for food, especially for merchants. Learning to speak well can win over 50% of people in this world. Learning to share profits and give benefits can win over 80%. If you can both speak well and share profits, you can win over 99% of people. The remaining 1% can be ignored and kept at a distance. Remember to spend your precious time with the right people. 8. The core of never getting hurt in relationships is not to concentrate all your feelings on one person. Always observe and control the degree of your emotional investment. If you find it's at a boiling point, cool it down. Too cold is not good. Too hot is not ideal. A moderate level is key for self-protection. If you love someone deeply, learn to do subtraction. Divert your energy to other things like tending to a plant, a pet, or a few close friends of the same gender, and you won't suffer as much. 9. Junk food is usually very tasty. People who are wolves in sheep's clothing often appear very presentable. Don't expose those who like to pretend in front of them. They are narrow-minded and arrogant. Once exposed, they will retaliate fiercely. If you encounter such petty and hypocritical individuals, give them face and then keep your distance as much as possible. These truths about human nature are not meant to discourage, but to enlighten. They serve as a reminder to be aware, to protect oneself, and to navigate the complexities of life with wisdom and discernment. By understanding these insights, we can make more informed decisions and foster healthier relationships, ultimately leading